All right, guys, so today we're gonna be working on the Stark Varg, and I got this the very first day I got it. I took it up some trails and ended up popping the front tube on it. So these are notorious for having this, they call it like a red, really thin tube. So traditionally you got a big rubber tube in there in the front tire of these. Stark went with this like really thin red wall tube. So I've read a lot about it online, pretty common issue. And a lot of guys will just swap it out right off the bat. That's what I'm gonna do today. Let's get the Stark out and get the front tire off and try to just change the tube ourselves. So we got the Stark out here. Now I wanna get the front end up off the ground. All right, we got the front wheel off the ground now. So I need to get that out of there. Oh. Sounds like it needed to be taken off anyways. I don't know what that noise is. If it's the, I don't know if you can hear that on camera. Let me try to get you closer. I don't know. Let's check it out. All right, I got our tools. I haven't used these since the day I put everything together. This will be kind of nice. All right, so we got this. This is gonna be our H10. This is a big no-no. No loosening with the torque wrench. It's got a reverse function on it for a reason, right? All right, it's too quiet in here. Sorry, guys. I'm going to voice over the rest of this, and I'm going to play music.
Oh, we have a guest appearance from my dog. Also, if you take a look at that red valve stem, you can see it's crooked. And that's one of the things that first was brought to my attention. Somebody that I was riding with was telling me, hey, your front tire is low. But I couldn't even tell it when I was riding. Anyways, what I've done now is I've taken it off the front axle. And now we're just left with two forks just sitting there. I got the tire. I'm going to put it onto the workbench. Just giving it a good once over, showing that they don't have any scratches on there. So now you're going to lay down a towel. Oh, there's a Tesla MCU screen there. So I got the towel laid out there. And then now I'm using this 13 millimeter socket to loosen up the tire clamp, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's a clamp that goes inside there and it holds the tire in place. Now I've started adding some Dawn detergent, dishwashing detergent, and this will help this tire slide into the groove that I need it to go into. These here are the Stockton tire irons and Tusk tire irons that I was using. So now I am taking the tire and I'm pushing it down into the bead of the rim. Now I'm going to use one of my tools and try to lift it out around the bead. Now what I want to do is push the other side down so it slides inside the bead. And the other one's going to come out much easier. So I've shifted my tools around and I'm thinking, I've watched a couple YouTube videos on this. This is going to be easy. And right now I'm regretting my decision and saying I should have just taken it to a shop because I really don't want to scratch these rims up. So as you can see, I got that one side out now. So now I'm holding that and now I'm working on the other side, kind of pushing it down. That's what I'm doing, trying to get it so it sucks into that bead. Now I use another tool, pull the tire out. And now I'm like, okay, I think I'm getting somewhere. So keep pushing it down. Now I got the tire out a little bit more. And now once you get it to about right here, then it goes pretty easy. And so now I'm just sliding my hand around it. Make sure this is a brand new tire essentially. So I know there's not going to be any like wires or metal beads, wires sticking out of it. So there's a tube. Now I had to get a towel to grab it. So pulling out the little tube, you can see how thin and flimsy it is. It's wild. Like I've changed bike tires on bicycles and it had a thicker tube than that. So there it is. And I said, there's some weird creases right here. I wonder if it's coming from right here. And so I'm just basically looking for a leak. And so what I decided to do was just take some air and add it to the tube. And then I'm going to take some Soapy solution. So I filled it up there and I'm like, oh, it's holding there. But there's a weird groove right there. And that's where that tire clamp was. And so I think that impacted the tube. Gotcha. So I filled it up with a little bit more air because I couldn't see anything blaringly obvious. This is just a simple green and water solution. I used to use this quite a bit. Help identify bubbles. So if you see bubbles like that, see those perfectly good bubbles? All those are forming. So there's a bunch of tiny little holes right there. And that's exactly on the opposite side, or that's exactly where the tire rim holder. I wish I knew the correct term for that so I didn't sound like such an idiot here, but I'll do a little judo chop. I was just messing around with it. I wanted to see how thin it was because that tube was shot. So now I'm just taking my machete. Hopefully YouTube doesn't ban me. This was safe. It was being observed by a professional. Don't worry, YouTube. So now I'm taking a little bit more Dawn and applying it around the tire again, just to help it. The more the merrier is my opinion on this. So now I got my tube. Gonna put some baby powder on it and put a little air into it. Now I was really surprised. I should have weighed it. This tube was much heavier, and I know that'll impact the riding. I'm not good enough to really even understand or know that it's heavier, I don't think. So you guys let me know if it's going to be blaringly obvious, but I've ridden it a little bit already and I couldn't feel a difference. Maybe it turned slower. The true pros, I'm sure, would be able to tell, but I'm not that smart. So I am continuing. I got the tube put in there. And so now this was the hardest part, is trying to get this tire back within its bead. So as you can see here, I got 3 tools. I'm working my way around. So I left that one in place, and I'm just going to slowly go around. I'm keep trying to push that other side of the tire down into the bead. So that way this other side that's to the right is much easier. So I keep pushing it, using 2 tools. As you can see, that didn't work out so well. I wanted you guys to see it isn't all that easy. So I wanted you to see my struggle a little bit. I don't want it to make you think that it was super easy, because it's not. It's difficult. And will I do it again? I probably will, because by the time it happens again, I'll forget about how hard this was. But if you would ask me the very next day, I would have paid somebody to do this. So there it is.
Finally.
Now it's inside the bead. So now the next thing I want to do is make sure there's nothing crazy. Make sure it's pretty well seated around it. And I put a little air in there. I'm going to tighten up the tire lock. Put a little bit more air in there. And as you saw it popped up there on the end. Then we're going to finish tightening up the tire lock. This is a 13 millimeter, and it's on that wrench right there. And there we go. Cleaned it all up. Wanted to show you there was no scratches or anything on the rim. I took extreme care to make sure I didn't. This was like a little burr or something that was in the rotor, and I didn't notice it before, and I didn't hear it when I was braking, but as you can see, it was protruding up. So I filed it down, sanded it down, tried to make it nice and flush. Got it about as good as I could get. And then now I'm widening up that brake pad and the calipers so I could get the brakes in. And then now I slide the axle shaft through and then tighten up the top 4 Torx bolts, just hand tight. And then I torque the main H10, I think is what it is, that main Allen bolt, tighten it up, and we're good to go. So thanks for watching.